Okay, so for my Wednesday video this week, what I'm going to do is to show you some trailer equipment that I find very useful and very handy. Before we get to that, if you watched last week's Wednesday videos about a new diet, I've lost another 3.5 pounds in the last week. So easy. So anyhow, back to the trailer equipment. And here we go. All right, so as far as equipment goes, first off is a jack block. Highly recommend it. That way you don't wear out your jack going up and down. It comes in so handy. You don't spend half an hour on these slow little jacks going. This one by Anderson holds a lot of weight. So it's highly, highly recommended by us. Another thing, if you have dual propane tanks, I recommend, if you don't have it, a valve. We have a three-way valve where we can do one tank, the other tank, or both tanks at the same time. I highly recommend you only have it set for one tank. Let that tank run out, switch to the other tank, and then get the one that ran out filled as soon as you can. That way you never end up without gas. Another thing is, you probably have the stabilizer bars. I highly recommend these. The weight distribution, they also work as stabilizers. But besides that, also recommend the old-fashioned sway control arm. I got into a situation where this little guy probably saved us one time. Another safety tip is when you're undoing your trailer, when you're parking your trailer and you're unhooking it, always, always, always keep your safety chains and your emergency brake hooked up to your tow vehicle until your trailer is completely unhooked and you make sure it's not going to roll away anywhere. We were in a campsite where a camp host came by and said some people in that campsite had already unhooked everything, unhooked their trailer, and the trailer took off down the hill. Not a good thing. So from there, we're going to move over to this little shelf that I find very, very handy. It rolls out. You see how much it carries and how easy it is to get to. I'm not crawling into this space like I used to before I got this shelf. One thing to know about this shelf is it is heavy. And because of that, it can twist your trailer so that it affects how your doors open. So you need to get some heavy stuff like your weight distribution bars and other heavy stuff and put it on the other side of your trailer with the space that's left, because this doesn't go all the way through, to balance out the weight on the trailer. Because that's one thing you want no matter what, is to have the weight balanced on your trailer for safety and the concern of your doors not being able to close correctly. So another thing to have is an adapter. Some places only have 50 amp, some places only have 30 amp. So you want an adapter because you're either going to have 30 or 50 and you need to be able to plug in to the other types of connections. So this is a very, very necessary item if you don't have one yet. You'll find out you'll need it. So then we have our blocks. We use these that we got from Camco because they're the same thing but least expensive, and as you know, if you see my videos, I'm all about saving money. Now with dual wheels, if you have to go up 3 blocks, you can be kind of stuck because there's only enough room in here really to build up to 2 blocks. So you can do 2 things. You can do a big long thing like this, put it in front of your tire and just pull all the way up in one move. Sometimes that doesn't work, or for me, I mean, this is a lot of blocks and it can be cumbersome. So what I do a lot of times is I'll just build up 2 blocks in front of the tires, pull up onto them, and then I come back and put 3 blocks behind the tires and back up onto the 3rd one to get it level if the site is that unlevel. So, but these are very handy. You can use them as stabilizing jack blocks, wheel blocks, all of that. Now there are several other ways for these tires for leveling your unit and chalking the wheels. Some of them are the roll-up kind, which are actually pretty good. You can roll up on them, you take another small one, shove it in there as your chalk. That works really well. There's some where they're built in 3 levels high. The issue with those are if the ground isn't level, if it rolls at all, you can pull up on those things and crack them. That's one problem with those. You can't really use those blocks for chalks very well, so we have these, which are handy except for if you have to raise your tires way up on the blocks. These don't work very well because the tires are too high and they just can't get in there. And you still put them in there, so if your unit starts to roll, it hits them and hopefully it stops. But that's a shortfall of these. But if you have a level site like this, they're really easy because you just put them in, step, and I've got them set very, very tight. So that's why it's that hard. But you just step in and boom, your tires are chalked. And when you're done, you just grab the cable, pull, and voila, you're done. So, and these are one-step, they're called one-step chalks. So, other items we find very helpful are these expandable hoses. This little hose right here, which is maybe 15 feet or so, as it sits, expands out to 50 feet. And this hose here, which might be 20-25 feet, expands out to 100 feet. And another nice feature on these is that they have these valves where you can turn them off. Now, the only problem with these hoses is that you are not supposed to drink the water that goes through these hoses, because if they sit in the sun, it can release something that's not supposed to be good for you to drink. But we have used this to fill our tank for showering, for general shower and all that. And then what we do is we have this little collapsible 5-gallon jug, and it goes completely flat except for the valve. So we can fold it up and just hang it, and that's what we do. But when it's needed, we fill it up with 5 gallons of fresh water for drinking and just use this for showering and washing dishes, and we've never had an issue or a problem. So highly recommend these, because there have been times we've had to hook both of these together because we needed 150 feet of hose to get or refill our water tank. So here's that 100-foot hose, the whole entire thing wound up into a ball, ready to go into the storage bin in my trailer. That's how much room it takes up. Try doing that with a 100-foot garden hose. And one more absolute necessity is a battery-operated drill with a bit on the end. Now I use the universal bit. You can see all the little pins in there, so you can use it for lots of different sizes of nuts. But the reason why you want one of these is for your jacks, your stabilizing jacks. You just hook it on your stabilizing jack, you put it on your stabilizing jack, hit the button, and voila. You spin your jack down. So easy. I do recommend a wheel cover for your spare tire so that sun and weather doesn't destroy it. It's a good thing to have. And also, another thing is, on your electrical cable, I bought an extension, because sometimes you park your trailer in a weird place, a weird situation, and you have to have more length than what they give you. So I bought an extension to the cable, which we find very handy as well. And one other thing, while you're camping, just a quick one, if you have a dog, these are real nice. These just corkscrew down into the ground, hook the leash to it or a rope, boom, your dog doesn't go running all over the place. So that's a very quick idea of some of the things that we think are important and work well, and I hope this helps you out. Thanks.